Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Yeah, the last episode was kind of a really, well, fuck it. It was a cliffhanger, alright. I wanted to say that it was a pretty mean cliffhanger, but that's what it's to be. Oh, that's what it's supposed to be, but enough rambling of me. Let's get started with this. I'm excited of this right now. Okay. Surprisingly, though she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book, I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. No. Talk to her, please! Come on, you got to be kidding me! This was all? I'm so sorry, I didn't know that would happen. He just straight up ignored her? Oh, come on, I was expecting more. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the easels. Oh yeah, this word again. I totally forgot to set up my Chrome browser. I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With the minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books and pop them into my bag as I work out. Oh, this is such a bummer already. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room to read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. Oh, come on, why didn't you talk to Hanako? The first is Alice Adventures in Wonderland! Yeah, classic. Totally classic. I loved the first cartoon movie of this. Everything what come after this was kinda crap and not so close to the source material anymore, I guess. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. Me neither, but I'm not so much of a book guy anyway. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be. Oh yeah, it was trippy as hell, but I didn't realize it as a kid. With the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I start thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice too, helplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this cripple wonderland. Oh, really? Come on. Well, it's a good metaphor, but it can be taken offensively, kind of. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and the overt way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It's like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Ivanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. That rhymed really good. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. Yeah. I like those little whirling things and the music that says the next day. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break. And then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy the late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the waffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the 2 empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? Yeah, I forgot the voices. I'm really sorry, but I know it was something like an old man voice. I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Engrossed. Does gross mean something is ugh? But engrossed seems to be something different, I presume. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if you speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Oh god, I'm gonna die, aren't I? I get the bad ending. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head, and he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Muto closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you are not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? Ah, the music kicks in again. I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, though it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. Your education is really important. You should learn as much as you can, even though, especially in my case, our school systems aren't the best, but you get the basic soft skills to develop yourself on your own, and you should really try hard to get your education done. I for myself didn't took it really seriously. I just wanted to have as much time as I can, and I avoided work and stuff like that, and I kinda regret it now, and I lack of some soft skills now, and that prevents me from going higher up in our educational system, even though I could manage it by my head working, kind of. At least I think though, and I hope it is so, but yeah, that's just a side note from myself. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. God. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you are left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think, in hindsight, that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. That's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto does not even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks, the remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment of education. Wait, what? No, I didn't say that. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Yes, that's a good advice. Always get your homework done before you go into the weekend, because if you only push it and push it and push it, and then it's suddenly Sunday evening or even later, and you think, oh fuck it, I have to do all this shit, and then you get past midnight and are total sleepy in the Monday. Don't do this. Do your homework or whatever you have to do on Friday so you have the whole weekend free for yourself to enjoy it. Yeah, I really got to say that. Apart from me, Hanako's the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. Really? Waiting for Lily? I'm still here. Maybe she's waiting for Hiso? Yeah, maybe? No, she's waiting for Lily. Why am I so obsessed with her? Obsessed? I don't know why. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. Expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Come on, talk to her. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. About what and anything else what. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil leads splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they are breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Oh, Lily is also a real cutie here. A real eye candy. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump from her desk and run to Lily. Oh, she's smiling. Oh god, now she's not. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall, and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. Oh, what happened? Please ask her. Please give me the option to ask. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing, but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As I should, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Except for speaking to Hanako. Please try to spark a conversation. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. See? Do it! There's no reason for you not to be communicate. Oh, cool! I can use my mouse wheel to go back one instant at least. As I should, since the assignment is all. Oh. After about 10 minutes shuffling. She must be quite. Oh. Trying to read the book, since the assignment is finished, do anywhere else. Oh, cool, this is good to know. Anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive. You didn't talk to Hanako, you idiot. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You won't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. Oh, those grey shadows just freak me out a little bit. Because there are only silhouettes and stuff like that and shadows, but that freaks me out a little. But not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. Go to the festival, there's nothing else to do, it seems. You could talk to all the girls you met, maybe. Because I think those girls are quite interesting and you should talk to them. I drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Or meet up with Kenji! Kenji is also such a great character in this game. Maybe Kenji is in his room! You read my mind, man. On the way to dorms, I spot Amy coming my way. Yes, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She always gets so close! She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect! Perfect! Then you can help me and win! With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Amy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Yeah, she's one of my favorites here. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself, simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Amy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor, to the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Amy, had I known. So, is Win working on that mural still? That's right! She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom. From the art classroom. And you need me to help with that. Well, Win told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So, thanks to Amy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty, apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust, floating in the air. Amy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny, crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they have been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. Crayons? The smells of paint, turpentine and fresh paper float in the stall air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Smell the art, just take it all in. Amy studies her notes, comparing them to marking on the various paint cans and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf, no matter what she does. Amy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. Isao. I didn't realize this. I want to have that. I want to see what's up there. I'm a little child. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels, doing the fraction of a second. She can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why my lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. What? You are twice as big as her? Twice? Are you sure that you are twice as big as her? I highly doubt that, and if that is the case, you are a fucking huge person. Or she is a really small person. You are not! She turns about, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging, turns her back to me. Oh, why? This hurts me so much. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint while below, Amy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Amy having a complex about her height was a surprise. Oh, that's why she's all huffy. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter's spoils, do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the hate jab that got her wild up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. But Amy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Win. At the word that stands there, carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Win is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? My dear, it looks good to me, but with Win, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning, lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again, like crazy. Yeah, I've noted that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. Amy giggles at that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness. She got... Did you see that? Oh, she got those cheek marks there. I totally forget how it's pronounced. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Amy seems to be cool with Win's whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. With them working as single entities sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they are so different, just like Amy and Win are. And Win is the most different of them all, different from anyone else I've met. But I like Win as well. She is so straightforward and has those almost crazy thoughts, quotation marks of course. That's what I like about her. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Win's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Amy giggles a grasp about for a properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier, she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the walls since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink and orange, weird imaginary things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies and empty soda bottles. Win herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there, looking very cozy, as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paintings, similar to those on Amy's face. Amy sprints to Win ahead of me, and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was wait. Damn it, what was her voice? Oh god damn it, I got such a good voice going for her. That was fast. Did you run in corridors again? Oh yeah, it was. I think it was that one. That was fast. Did you run in corridors again? Iso helped me. Amy points victoriously at me. Win turns about, following Amy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like in a slow-motion movie.
Hello, Hiso. Thank you for the help.
Was this her voice? I don't know. How did I voice win? I shouldn't take so much breaks in between those recordings. I think it was something like I had my nose a little bit clenched up, but not by force. And it was something like this. Don't mention it.
I just did.
Never mind. Looks like you've made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell.
But now you get more bad luck.
Oh yeah, the bad luck thing. If you don't know anything about it, you should tell something like that. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk.
That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course, not for you.
Oh, I don't like the new voice. What was the voice for her? Ah, you know what? I interrupted just a split second to figure out what voice I can give her. I listen up the voice. I can't bear this myself. Well, it can't be helped.
That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course, not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance. Their favorite TV shows are cancelled or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind.
She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There's a boy! Oh, damn it! No, I thought...
There's a boy. At the art club, you see? Blind boy. So he doesn't see.
Yeah, she talked about this with us in the previous episode. I guess it wasn't the... No, she told us that way earlier, that there's a blind one who can paint. You already told me. Thanks. I glance sideways at Amy, and she glances back in a way that tells that she has heard this one before too. Neither of us says anything to Win, though, so she continues her monotone soliloquy like an unfunny stand-up comedian.
He should become an artist. No bad luck guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea?
That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such.
You might have a point.
Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize but can't remember the name of. Amy arranges the supplies we bought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene.
Amy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one is Prussian blue?
She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans each with a different tone of blue.
It's the one with Prussian blue paint in it.
Thanks for the description.
Jeez, Win, you're not helping at all.
I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Prussia or Prussia? I don't know. Or what Prussia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. Really? While none of the blues looks more Prussian than the others, the small print on the labels is legibly enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There's no Prussian blue here.
We need to get more then.
I open my mouth to say that actually we are not both needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Amy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I wave to Win, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. ... Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Win is, Amy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Amy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face.
You're not out of breath, are you?
There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little, not everybody can be in shape, you know? Takes all kinds, right? Amy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is. I should get in shape? No, not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figure there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was after all feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually it wasn't, but it was fun? Meanwhile, my comment seemed to have helped Amy come to some sort of decision.
Well, that's it then.
She gives me a serious look.
You're joining me.
In what? ... I beg your pardon?
In the mornings. You and I are now running partners.
Yes!
Yes! I've got a routine all planned out, in fact,
she produces a crumpled sheet of paper.
I've got it right here with me.
I take this sheet of paper and give it a once over. Times, dates and laps all laid out. A slow increase from just a few laps a day to... My god, does she expect to have me running marathons? And where did she find the time to get this all together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this?
A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to.
A vast conspiracy? Maybe Kenji's onto something here. Kenji is my man. Kind of. This seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me.
Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now.
My god, Kenji, if you could only see the scheme unfolding. Kenji, my man. Help me. What do you need a partner for anyway? Why you even question it? It's awesome. A cute girl wants you to run with her every morning. She wants you as her partner. Not even if it is that kind of partner yet, but you know, evolving relationships and stuff. Does he not consider it anymore?
It's easier to keep up a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right?
I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse.
And I'll be keeping an eye on you, just like he asked. You caught on quick, Hiso.
And if I refuse?
Why even asking this question?
I have no intention of refusing, of course. Thanks. But I've got to at least put up a token resistance to such a masterfully executed plan.
Well, if you refused, I'd have to pout. And you'd have to live with being the guy who made Amy Ibaradaki pout.
I have to look up what pout means. Alright, I found it right here. It's also called to sulk, to be in the pouts, to go into a huff, to be in a snit, to sulking, pouting, sulkiness, And for my German viewers, Schmollen, as you can read it here. This is awesome! This is such an awesome thread.
And you have to live with being the guy who made Imi Iwasaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you?
As if to demonstrate, Imi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy.
So it's settled, right? You're going to be my running partner? Follow the workout? And the dietary plan?
Dietary plan?
Yeah, the dietary plan.
So, the diet plan. Why is it called dietary plan? The diet. Why not just the diet plan?
You've got to eat healthy if you're going to get in shape, you know?
I examined the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here.
Oh wait, I forgot to give that to you.
Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed.
I had the nurse help me come up with it.
The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. It's so weird to spell it. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that will be offered at the festival tomorrow. Really? Why? I wanted to taste it. Well, actually he so wanted, but whatever. So when does our running start?
After the festival.
Right after? What if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomach ache, you know?
I meant the day after the festival.
I knew that. Wasn't there something we are supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that painful win, huh?
Oh no! It slipped my mind!
Alright, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, leave a like and maybe a comment down here. Consider to subscribe to my channel, and I hope I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.